My name is Duddits, I do builds and stuff. Today's video is probably the only build I know of that will literally let you stand and face tank GM bosses without a problem. Literal deletion. You can stand there, tank so much damage, delete GM bosses, and on top of that it's absolutely insane for ad clearance as well. It's a prismatic warlock build. Like I said, you are unkillable and you put out some serious damage. I'm featuring the Lord of Wolves, probably the best weapon of the season, and we're pairing it up with a Song of Flame. We've also got loads in this video as well. You're not only going to be unkillable and put loads of damage out, we're going to be able to sever targets with this build as well to make you even more unkillable. And we're going to get woven mail as well, so it's absolutely nuts. It literally covers you for every activity in the game. Onslaught, Lost Sectors, the hardest GMs, all going to be ticked with this. I've got loads of footage of the gameplay to show you of GMs at the end of the video, but it's an absolute joke. So strong. Ad clearance, DPS, unkillable. Stay with me, I'm going to break this build down. The whole build is based around the Lord of Wolves, fires a short range burst of solar damage. You've also got the perk on there. Release the wolves when firing from the hip. This weapon shoots in full auto damage and rate of fire is increased, but accuracy and range are decreased. The catalyst got a major rework at the beginning of the season. Increase the reload speed and stability while release the wolves is active. Damaging targets with this weapon. Apply Scorch, and when you aim down the sights, defeated target spread Scorch to nearby. So hip fire or aim down sights. Hip fire is the most popular mode, but aiming down sights is also good. What I really wanted to do with this build is make you unkillable. So Song of Flame is the option. While Song of Flame is active, you and your nearby allies regenerate abilities more quickly. You are more resistant to incoming damage, and your solar and kinetic weapons Scorch. Lord of Wolves scorches anyway, but you're going to get Radiant on top of that, which is an extra 20% damage. And when you pair it up with Spirit of Harmony, Final Blows with weapons that have a damage type matching your super's element, grant you super energy. You can also pair it up with something like Spirit of the Apotheosis, which we'll go into a little bit at the end of the video. But Spirit of Harmony is the main sort of magic. So you're going to see on that bottom left, you're going to see Energy Siphon popping up. Not that Ether Siphon, Energy Siphon. I've got too many buffs on my screen. Every time you get a kill with a solar weapon, because we've got a solar super equipped, it's going to give you massive chunks of super energy. Very consistent. Got buffed not so long back. We all know how Spirit of Harmony is. It's really good. Extra super gains via Facet of Awakening, rapidly defeating targets with light or darkness damage, or super final blows generates an elemental pickup. We're going to get solar fire sprites, and when you pick them up via elemental siphon, you are also going to get even more super energy. So you're going to get loads of super energy from your Spirit of Harmony, and on top of that, you're going to pick up them fire sprites with your elemental siphon, which gives you even more super energy on top of the Harmony. So that gives you a real good way to get loads and loads of super energy for your Song of Flame. Pair it up with Helion, which also scorches. This helps massively, creates them fire sprites and applies Scorch for your ignitions. Pair it up with Feed the Void, so you're going to get health regen on kills and grenade energy back while you've got Devour active. Now the next part of the clip you're going to see that boss is all a glowing green. We're going to sever him via our Threadlings. If you go to the Horde Shuttle Seasonal Artifact Perk, the boosted version, Threadlings sever targets that they damage. You've also got Vile Weave. Targets hit by your tangles are also severed. So we can also sever, which is a 40% damage reduction from that target. Why it's glistening green like that. So, for example, when you don't have your Song of Flame up, or even if you've got your Song of Flame up, that is even more damage reduction. I think you get 90% damage reduction inside your Song of Flame, and even if you don't have your Song of Flame active, you've got your Devour going and Severing, so you're very tanky. So that's the tankiness sort of covered in and outside your Song of Flame, The ad clearance part of it, which we'll just take a quick look at, is just absolutely insane, because you can literally clear waves and waves of enemies in things like Onslaught, Quarter Blades, Lost Sectors. You're just going to kill waves on your own, basically. You can literally just stand there, hip fire, or aim down sights with your Lord of Wolves, whichever way you want to do it. And you'll see in this clip here, I've roughly got about half of my super back. I just know in this little clip here on the onslaught, you get a lot pushing around this corner. So I wanted to clear these first before I started damaging the demolitionists. And you'll see there, that's all my fire sprites picked up as well. You're going to see, look at the state of that, how much super energy I got back there. It's absolutely crazy. You get loads and loads of super energy with this build. That's what I wanted to really focus on. You got your Spirit of Harmony going, you got your fire sprites picking up via Elemental Siphon. You're just supercharging your super gains, which obviously enables you to spam that Song of Flame, spam your Lord of Wolves. And on top of that, we've got all that damage reduction that I showed you. Now, the ad clearance part of it's good, but you can also literally just stand down and face tank bosses with this build as well. So like things like Onslaught GMs, if you got any sort of bosses, champs, you can just stand there and face tank. You'll see it's glistening green again. You've also got other perks to go on your class items, something like Spirit of Apotheosis. I really like this one. I haven't featured it too much because there's plenty of other options, but Apotheosis is going to be a really good option to pair with Harmony. Now, this is where this build gets absolutely nuts, because obviously we've got Vile Weave going as well. Your tangles are severed when you hit them with a tangle. Now, to shreds dealing sustained damage to severed targets, which we're going to sever all the time, which we've touched on, it's going to unravel them, and it creates hotspots of woven mail. So not only are we going to be able to sever, we are going to be able to get woven mail very, very easily. If you just watch this couple of clips here, I've severed them with my tangle. You can also do it with your Threadling grenades, don't forget. That will also sever, creating a strand debuff. Look at the state of this now. I'm going to destroy this boss with my Lord of Wolves. And then just on top of that, you're going to get a woven mail on that bottom left. You'll see there. Pick that woven mail up. Even more damage reduction, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Now, you don't need that when you've got your Song of Flame active, but when you haven't got your Song of Flame active, obviously you've got Devour, Severing, and Woven Mail going on. You're really, really unkillable. Facet of Dawn is something I like to use. Again, you don't really need it for the damage, but an extra 20% damage is great, but it's exceptional for anti-barrier. You're going to make your Lord of Wolves have anti-barrier capabilities. So again, I've said it a couple of times, you are absolutely unkillable once you've got your Song of Flame active, and even at times when you don't have your Song of Flame active, nice teleporting ogre there, but you'll see it just absolutely wrecks these champions and adds in this Lost Sector. 2050 Lost Sector, like I said, I've got GM gameplay to show you, but I just want to sort of to show it off in like quite a lot of activities, how good it is, how many different ways you can use it. Clearance, champs, bosses, everything like that. Super, super easy to get that woven mail as well. You'll see it happens literally all of the time. You'll see there, woven mail, severed, get that boss stunned, and then you can literally go up there and just face tank some of the bosses in this Lost Sector. Some of the witches and some of the guys, you'll see, again, severed this boss in a moment, and you can sponge so much damage. I'm not even in my Song of Flame. I've got my Devourer active, got my Radiant, and I'm that confident with this build, I could literally go face tank that boss without my Song of Flame. Quickly skim over my aspects before the GM gameplay. Feed the Void, which we've touched on. Helion, again, which we've touched on. Threadling Grenade, these sever, don't forget, with the seasonal artifact perks. So while the sever, they're also going to create a strand debuff, which will create a tangle, which you can throw. Same with your Arcane Needle, this will apply your Radiant, and it will unravel them, and it applies the strand debuff, so you can pick up a tangle. Facet of Protection, while surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage, even more resistance. Facet of Ruin, this is going to increase your ignitions. Now the next one is a very, very good Fragments Rune. Facet of Balance, because Lord of Wolves is light damage, you're going to get loads of melee energy, so you can keep spamming your Radiant and your Unraveling Rams on your Arcane Needle. Really, really good fragment, that one. Facet of Awakening, which we've touched on, rapidly defeating targets with light or darkness damage or super final blows, generating elemental pickup. This is really good, you can create a lot of fire sprites. And then Facet of Dawn, which we've touched on, gives you a 20% damage increase and anti-barrier capabilities. I'll leave my mods playing out. Obviously, I'll always leave a dim link and a mobilytics link in the video description as well. So I'll show you it working in the GM now. And for about 90% of this GM, it's very, very good. It's going to be good in other GMs as well, but what's not to like about being able to clear GM spawns, tanky targets, yellow bars, mages, banes, and not be able to die? It's just ridiculous. Really, really good. Again, I'm just sort of focusing on the ad clearance part of it. in the GM like I did at the start of the video. Then I'm going to show you some face tanking destruction on the Witch at the end. But ad clearance is just absolutely crazy. You've got all sorts going on as well. Severing the lot. It's so good. Absolutely deletes champions in GMs. Overloads, barriers and unstops are really not a problem. It's just ridiculous. Just look how fast this anti-barrier gets destroyed. It's not even solar burn. That's the scary thing at the moment. We've not even got a solar burn season. And just look at it. It's just ridiculous. It's mainly Void Arc and Strand this season. I don't think there's anything with solar burn this season. Face tanking some bosses to speed your run up if you need to. Instead of standing back there, you can just literally pop your Song of Flame. Get up close to that Witch. You've obviously got Radiant on top of that, which is extra 20% damage, and you can just literally just get rid of these bosses so quick. Now obviously in every situation, to get your Harmony going, your Energy Siphon, you don't always want to be running your Lord of Wolves, so something like a Speleologist with Incandescent will also top your super gains up as well with Spirit of Harmony. There's other options like rocket launchers, things like He's and Vengeance, other options as well like linears and stuff like that, but I found machine guns pretty solid. Again, just keeping that Harmony going with your Lord of Wolves. If you equip both of them, you're pretty much solid. You're going to have loads and loads of super gains. But that pretty much wraps up the video. I'm just going to leave the clip of face tanking the final phase of the Witch in this week's GM. But like I said, I'll leave a dim link in the video description. I'll also leave a Mobalytics link. Let me know what you think of this. It's absolutely insane. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.